Okay, so one of the first things in this document is at the top here, where it talks about the fact that this fake company, the Serial Box, is an internet TV streaming provider. Okay, what that means is you are not producing something for a channel like the BBC or ITV. You're producing for something that is the equivalent of Netflix or Amazon Prime, except it's called the Serial Box for this purposes of the exam. Okay, that makes a huge difference to your pitch, and it also makes a difference to things like scheduling and money and the kind of content that you can have in your TV drama. Think about all the things that we talked about with Netflix and how internet streaming providers aren't controlled by people like Ofcom, and they can afford to be a bit more controversial with their content, and they don't have to follow the same rules. Think about the fact that there's no schedules on TV streaming sites, so you will definitely not be putting any scheduling information in your pitch. Okay, so you need to be aware of those things when you are coming up with your idea. Okay, so that's the first thing you should be highlighting and you should be thinking about when you're coming up with your ideas. So in this third paragraph down, this is where you realise what an amazing teacher I am, because it specifies a teenage audience. Okay, now I made you do a teen audience for your mocks. Okay, so you should be well versed in how to come up with a TV drama for a teen audience. Think about all the TV dramas that we've watched that are suitable for teenagers. We've looked at clips from things like Skins, Misfits, Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars. We talked about Scam and a variety of other TV dramas that would be suitable for teenagers. So it does specify a teenage audience, although it does say any subgenre. So you could have a hospital drama, a crime drama, it could be historical, it could have a sci-fi twist, but it needs to be appropriate and appealing for teenagers, okay? So you have to be thinking about how you're going to appeal to that particular age group. Okay, so in the fourth paragraph down, it specifically says that the Serial Box is tired of the same old stereotypical representations of young people. That means that you need to know, what are the old, tired, stereotypical representations of young people in teenage dramas or TV dramas in general? Do you know what the stereotypes are? How are they normally portrayed? And if that's how they're normally portrayed, how is your TV drama going to be different? And you're going to need to be able to explain that in your pitch. How are the representations of young people in your idea going to be unconventional, non-stereotypical? How are they going to be more modern and more realistic? It specifically says they want the TV drama to give realistic and relevant representations of teenagers. So you're going to need to think about all of the characters, certainly the main characters in your show idea, and in your pitch you should be explaining how your characters are going to be more relevant and realistic about teenagers. In comparison to maybe some existing real TV dramas, maybe things like Gossip Girl, where the representations of teenagers are so overblown, overhyped, overly sexualized, far more mature than they really are, loads of money. It's not realistic. And why maybe do teenagers not like those things? Why would your characters be more appealing? Okay, so think about things like the uses and gratifications theory. People want to be able to identify with characters. They want to be able to relate to them. And actually some more realistic representations of teenagers might be something that they could relate to. What is going to be realistic about your characters? Be specific. Don't just say my characters are going to be realistic. What is it specifically about them? Is it their personality? Is it the way they act? Is it the way they look? Okay, so try and be specific in your explanation of their realism. Okay, so 3/4 of the way down your document are some really big hints as to what question 1, the knowledge-based question, is going to be. It says you will need to research serial TV drama and be able to explain why it is so popular with audiences. That suggests that you must be aware for question 1 why TV dramas are so popular. Why do audiences still watch? Why are there series that are so popular that with massive audiences? Why are they entertaining? Why are they engaging? Because they do pull in big audiences from all different backgrounds. You must have at least 3 reasons to give, and for each of those reasons you should have a different example of a real TV drama. Make sure one of the revision tasks that you do between now and the exam is to make a big spider diagram or bullet point list about all the reasons why people watch TV dramas, why TV dramas are popular. And if you are aiming for those A stars and A's, think about including some of the theories that we've covered over the last year and a half. Things like the uses and gratifications theory would be a really simple one to get in, okay? But there are lots of other theories that we've covered as well that might be useful, okay? So make sure that you are fully versed in why TV dramas are popular, because I think they're hinting that that is going to be question number one. The final sort of chunky paragraph on your document just here says, we would also like your ideas about how we can generate interest online for your serial TV drama. We intend to have an extensive pre-launch digital marketing campaign to promote the shows before they are released. Now that suggests to me that this might be your question 4, that unknown element of the exam paper that we can never quite predict, but it definitely hints to me that you are going to have a marketing plan. You're going to need to have at least 3 different ideas about how you can market your TV drama, and I would suggest that you have all of those ideas as being generating interest online. So maybe about how you could use a website, maybe one of your ideas about how you could use things like social media, maybe you could have an idea about how you could use blogs, or you could have 2 different social media ideas, one for YouTube and one for Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat. You know, so have a think about all the different types of online marketing. Have a think about some of the online marketing campaigns that we looked at in class. So when we looked at things like Sherlock and The Walking Dead, various other TV dramas that had their marketing campaigns online, the TV drama Scam that used Snapchat and Instagram to market their TV drama to young people. So try and find real examples and then think about how you're going to use similar techniques. You should not only be able to explain what you're going to do, but also why it would be a good thing, why it would market your show, why young teenage audiences are going to like that particular technique. Now, the only thing that the pre-release material doesn't really tell you is what the design task is going to be. I've had a look at it and it is quite hard to tell, but because they do talk about online marketing quite a lot, I would hazard a guess at saying that it's probably going to be a website homepage design. Now, we have looked at websites for TV dramas before in a lesson, several lessons, and a lot of you did them in the mock exams. So there really is no excuse for not being able to draw out a really good website for a TV drama. If you need a really good example, Alice Pearson has a lovely example from the mock, so please ask if you can see hers. But I will see if I can find some other examples online as well, and I will try and post them for you too. The only other things I would make sure I would practice just in case are things like a storyboard for the trailer for your TV drama, maybe storyboard the opening sequence, and also, just because they talk about digital marketing a lot, maybe also draw out a design for a social media page for your campaign. So maybe a Facebook page or a Twitter profile or a Snapchat or Instagram account. I think it's very unlikely that that will come up, but I would do it just in case. Okay, so just to recap the structure of the exam so that we're all totally clear. When you get into the exam, you will have a fresh copy of the pre-released brief in front of you to remind you what the brief was. You will then have 4 questions, okay? The first question is highly likely to be the bullet point knowledge-based question, which we think, based on the pre-release material, is going to be something about why TV dramas are popular or successful. Okay, you must, in this question, use examples of real TV drama shows to back up your points. You should be making 3 or 4 points in your answer with an example of a TV drama for each point, preferably different TV dramas, so you're showing a range of knowledge and research. Okay, if you're trying to aim for those AA star grades, you should also be trying to get theory into that knowledge-based question. Okay, after that bullet point knowledge-based question, it's highly likely to be the pitch question, question number 2. That is where you tell the cereal box company that's mentioned in the brief what your idea for a TV drama is. So you would say, here is my idea, here is how it matches the brief, and they will normally give you some bullet points of things to make sure you include in your pitch. So they will ask you things like, make sure you include your main characters, the main storyline, and why it would appeal to teenagers, or something along those lines. But make sure you read the bullet points to work out what is going to go into that pitch, what needs to go in there. Okay, that is where you're going to be demonstrating that you know what the conventions of a TV drama are. Make sure it's clear that your idea is a TV series, so mentioning words like series and episodes and cliffhangers. Okay, otherwise sometimes your ideas can sound a little bit more like a film than a TV show. Okay, so use lots of keywords if possible. Talk about things like narrative arcs, you know, that kind of thing, where we talked about protagonists and antagonists. That's where you're going to get all your keywords and conventions into that question number 2. Question number 3 is normally the design question, okay? So question number 3 is where they will ask you to do some kind of creative drawing task. So maybe the website for your TV drama, or a storyboard, or a poster. Highly likely to be the website based on the pre-release material, but don't just practice that. Practice all of those things related to your TV drama just in case, because you want to be prepared. The 4th and final question is that slightly unknown question, but based on the pre-released material, I would suggest that it's going to be something about how you would market your TV drama, and in particular focusing on digital marketing techniques. So I would suggest coming up with at least 3, if not 4 or 5 ideas that you could use in an exam situation about how you're going to market your TV drama, making sure that at least 2 or 3 of them are digital ideas. So that's using technology like apps, or games, or vlogs, or blogs, or social media, or websites in order to market your TV drama. Okay, and if you can do, I would try and get things like real examples in there as well. So you could say, in my research, I found that this show used this, and it was a great success. So in my show, I'm going to do this as well. That way you're getting your knowledge in to show that you've researched real shows. And you can also get theories in if you're aiming for those top grades as well. So you could say, my idea for marketing my show is this, and the reason it will be a success is because, and then you could get a theory in to explain why your particular technique is going to be good at marketing your show. So they're the 4 questions. The whole exam, all 4 questions, you get 1 hour and a half. Okay, so if you get no extra time and you're doing the exam in an hour and a half, that works out as roughly 22 minutes per question, with a little bit of time for reading the questions and finishing off at the end. Okay, that's not long. So you need to practice timing. A lot of you found that in the mock exam, timing was a big problem. Okay, so please make sure you are practicing your answers under timed conditions. You should have written out your pitch for your TV drama 10, 20 times before you go into that exam, so that you know you can get all of that information in what sounds like a fun and exciting and engaging way in 22 minutes. Okay, so please make sure you check back in the next few days, because I'm also in the process of making you 2 specific videos. One about the knowledge question and why people like TV dramas, and a second one about how to design a website idea for your TV drama. So please make sure you check back in the next few days for more revision videos.